So in AD&D, there are 9 defined alignments, and I think that most players can maybe define 4 of them correctly. You know, lawful good, chaotic evil, easy, right? But ask someone to actually explain lawful neutral or, you know, neutral evil without just describing a vibe, you know, you're going to watch them stall out. Well, Gary wrote a full paragraph on every single one of them on page 32 of the Player's Handbook. And we're going to go through that today. You know, this is the DM and Friends, you guys. Gary wrote the manual and I run it raw. All right, so 2 videos ago, you know, 2 videos back, I talked about the 2 axes, right? I talked about law versus chaos, good versus evil. You know, last week, alignment as a tracked, enforced mechanic. Well, today we're going to fill in the grid and all 9 boxes, you know, Gary's own words, no vibes allowed. You know, in the Player's Handbook on page 32, and everybody turn to page 32 and check it out. Right after the character class and right before hit points, alignment gets its own section, its own special section, and that's for an actual reason, right? So, okay, so we're going to start out with the lawful versions of alignment, right? So there's 3, obviously. There's lawful good, lawful neutral, and lawful evil. Well, in the lawful good section, it says, and I'll read this from the Player's Handbook. And yes, I am going to fold my book. See, I just folded it. He says, while as strict in their prosecution of law and order, characters of lawful good alignment follow these precepts to improve the common weal. And then the benefits of this society are to be brought to all. Now, that's lawful good, and it isn't just follow rules. It's law in service of everyone's benefit, right? So let's move on to, and then furthermore, just below that, it goes, those of this alignment view regulation as all important, taking the middle road betwixt good and evil, and that's lawful neutral, right? So doesn't care if the order is kind, it cares that it is order, right? So that's like the very, I mean, that's why it's lawful neutral, right? The very middle ground of we don't care whether it's good or evil as long as it's law, right? That's like the utmost strictest of laws, right? Well, let's move to lawful evil, right? And he says, creatures of this alignment are great respecters of laws and strict order, but life, beauty, truth, freedom, and the like are held at valueless, or at least scorned by. By adhering to stringent discipline, those of lawful evil alignment hope to impose their yoke upon the world. Now, the lawful evil takes that same discipline point at conquest, right? Same row, wildly different goals, right? So let's talk now about the chaotic row, right? So, you know, and flip this whole thing to chaotic, right? So same structure, you know, opposite instinct, right? So the major, and I'm going to read from the Player's Handbook, right? So he says the major precepts of this alignment are freedom, randomness, and woe. Law and order, kindness and good deeds are disdained. Life has no value. And that is chaotic evil, right? Not misunderstood, not edgy. Life has no value. Full stop. In Gary's words, right? So, moving on to chaotic good, right? The flip of that, right? But on the chaotic spectrum, right? Characters of this alignment view freedom and the randomness of action as ultimate truths. They likewise place value on life and the welfare of each individual. Respect for individualism is also great. By promoting the gods of chaotic good, characters of this alignment seek to spread their values throughout the world. Well, chaotic good, right? Freedom, at the highest of values, right? But life still matters, right? That's the whole Robin Hood, archetype right there in one paragraph. Well, let's talk about chaotic neutral, which is an alignment that I absolutely hate, but it's all good. We're going to talk about it, right? Now, and I think this one everybody gets wrong, but it says in here, chaotic neutral, above respect for life and good, right? The disregard for life and promotion of evil, the chaotic neutral places randomness and disorder, right? So good and evil are complementary, balance arms. Neither are preferred, nor must either prevail. For ultimate chaos would then suffer, right? Ultimate chaos. Chaotic neutral is not, I do whatever funny, this session. It's a genuine philosophical position. Neither good nor evil should ever fully win, because balance itself is the point, right? So I want to talk a little bit about something that was in Dragon Magazine, right? The Dragon Magazine article builds on what Gary wrote in the Player's Handbook, and it obviously it's not the rule book, but it's a genuinely useful tool, right? So in Dragon Magazine 26, Carl, I'm going to mess up this guy's last name, but it's Parlo Greco's, I think is how you pronounce his name, but in June 1979, he says another view of, had an article, another view of the 9 alignment scheme, right? 9-point alignment scheme, and he says, broke every alignment down into concrete will, and will not behaviors, right? So his chaotic good entry says, will keep the words to others of good alignment, will not attack an unarmed foe, will not use poison, will help those in need. His neutral evil entry, he says, will not necessarily keep their word, would attack an unarmed foe, use poison, will not help those in need, right? So that's not canon, but if your player is staring at a one paragraph Player's Handbook definition, asking, okay, well, what do I actually do, right? That 1979 fan breakdown is still one of the best translations ever written. So check out Dragon Magazine 26, and I'll put a link in the show notes, maybe something that's on the internet or something, but check out that article. So let's back up really quick, and I want to talk about the neutral row. Okay, so last row, in the neutral row, I think is one that people dismiss, fastest, right? And kind of misunderstand the most, right? So let's talk about neutral evil, and I'm going to read this. The neutral evil character views law and chaos as necessary considerations, for pure evil is all in all. Either might be used, but both are disdained as foolish, clutter, useless, and eventually bringing maximum evilness to the world. Like the purest of evil, neutral evil. Neutral evil doesn't care about your rules on your rebellion. It cares about winning. That's the coldest alignment on the chart, in my opinion. So let's talk about neutral good. And he says in here on neutral good, on the bottom here, unlike those directly opposite them, neutral evil in alignment, characters of neutral good balance that there must be some regulation in combination of freedoms in the best, if the best is to be brought to the world, the most beneficial conditions for living things in general and intelligent creatures in particular. So neutral good is pure, pragmatism aimed at doing right? Whatever works, let's just do it right. And then let's also talk about, and then the one that everybody calls boring, right? Without ever reading the actual paragraph. the true neutral, right? So I'm going to go to the true neutral section, and this is a bigger paragraph, which I think it's complicated for some people, right? So he says the true neutral looks upon all other alignments as facets of the system of things. Thus, each aspect, evil and good, chaos and law, of things must be retained in balance to maintain the status quo. For things as they are cannot be improved upon except temporarily, and even then, but superficially. Nature will prevail and keep things as they were meant to be, provided the wheel surrounding the hub of nature does not become unbalanced due to the work of unnatural forces, such as human and other intelligent creatures interfering with what might be. Well, true neutral isn't indecisive, and it's the Druids actively defending the balance of the entire wheel against anybody, good or evil, and not wanting something to tip it too far, right? And that's not passive. That's a mission statement. That's a tough thing for a player character to play as true neutral, I think, because pursuing balance is, I'd love to hear you guys' story on that. Well, so why does this matter at your table, right? So Gary even ties alignment straight to class choice on this same page, right? He says that it is possible that this section of a class or character will profess his predetermined alignment. A druid is neutral, right? A paladin is lawful good. A thief can be neutral or evil. An assassin is always evil, right? Which is exactly the paladin restriction we covered last week, right? It's not a house rule. It's page 32, same paragraph as the 9 definitions themselves, right? So 9 alignments, guys. Not 9 vibes, not 9 internet meme charts, not actual, it's 9 actual philosophies, each with a stated goal, each written by one man on one page in 1978, right? So if your chaotic neutral character has ever once had an opinion about balance, he isn't chaotic neutral. He's just chaotic. All right. So for next week, and I want to say that this one will come out. Yeah, this will be next Monday. We're going to take these 9 boxes out of the character sheet entirely and put them on your monsters. Because Gary used this exact same chart to run your entire world. Not just your party. So. All right, you guys, so if you've been running an alignment as a personality trait instead of a philosophy, you're not alone. And, now, you've got 9 real ones to work with instead. All right, you guys, well, drop a comment. Which alignment do you think gets misplayed the most at tables today? That's a really great question. I want to hear your guys' comments on that. I've got a guess, but I want to hear yours. All right, you guys, I am DM Angelo. Keep gaming. Take care of each other. And bye-bye.